Join us, MrTruck.com, for truck reviews, trailer reviews, and accessory reviews. If you have a short bed truck, you know it's not easy to hook up to a gooseneck. Pop-Up came out with these extensions from 9 inches to 16 inches to keep you from breaking out your back window when you're pulling a gooseneck trailer. And everybody uses a short bed. That's the most popular truck there is a crew cab short bed. So protect that window. Mr. Truck here with another review. This time it's a 2021 Nissan Titan Pro 4X crew cab, 4-wheel drive, of course. And this has a V8 endurance engine. It is 400 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. Kelsey couldn't be with us. There's a big snowstorm in the mountains, and I couldn't make it up there either. So it's me again. Next week, Kelsey and I will be reviewing their new truck. So come and see that. Now this, we're pulling 7,500 pounds today. I'll give you some footage on the road. We're going to see just how well this Titan does. So come and join us for the review. Well, I like these mirrors on this Titan. They stick out quite a ways, and each one of them has a spotter mirror. So they've done really good with this 8.5 foot wide trailer, but it's a flatbed, so you can see over the fenders. But it's nice to have a spotter mirror on each side, and up in the top corner where they do some good. It's exactly where they should be if you're going to have a spotter mirror on a regular mirror. And look, up here, this is that panoramic double pane moonroof. It's awesome, it's big.
Don't go away, MrTruck.tv will be right back.
I do like the stitching. The red stitching and the Pro 4X embroidered into the seat. That's a big 9-inch screen there in the middle. And then you have your 4-wheel drive and your push button start. Down there's your heated seats. And you got your sway control. Let me zoom in on that. Your sway control and your brake control is in a great place. I really enjoyed having it there in the snow. I actually grabbed my trailer brakes instead of my truck brakes trying to pull this trailer in the ice. And all the other heat gauges. It's got independent on each side, which I like. Good layout. You got two 12 volt. I got my Tucson tire pressure monitor plugged in there. And you've got enough outlets, more in the back seat. There's your cup holder. There's this big, deep center console. But yeah, I like that you can move the cup holder forward. You can move that front piece too, so you can make more room in there. You got floor mats everywhere, cup holders in all the doors, and the seats fold up. And you have a tray on each side. It's a lockable tray. You can fold it out, and voila, you got all that room. So you actually have a flat loading floor up about 5 inches off the floor. But that's nice. Both sides of the seat do that. Same latch Ford has. I wonder if this is made by the same company. There's the other side. Your jack's in the back, and that one flips out and folds, so you got some nice cargo space. And
you do have some more outlets in the back and vents, heated seats, and more cup holders. But yes, indeed. You hear the V8 rumble. There's the little switch for tilt and telescoping wheel. It's power. Now loaded, I'm getting, looks like 11 miles to the gallon, comparable to 20 in the highway empty. And that's towing 7,500 pounds. I wasn't at the maximum weight. This is the trailer we had for today. So that's pretty common, pulling any kind of trailer except for a two-wheeler, that you're going to get that kind of fuel mileage. It probably might vary by one if you had this maxed out at 9,000 pounds. It's me. Kelsey couldn't make it because of a snowstorm at Estes, and it was too icy, too cold, 3 degrees below zero. Horrible. So, trying to get as much film. Just did some driving down the highway. Gonna do some more. But winters in Colorado, you know, it's crazy. We're always doing most of our truck videos, at least the new launches, in the winter, in a snowstorm. And that's because they usually release these trucks like in October, November, and this year with the COVID even later. So we get them in the middle of the coldest time, the snowiest time. It's February, and it's terribly cold February. But anyway, if you've watched me and Andre do the Ike Gauntlet for TFL Truck, you will probably notice a lot of our Ike runs up the mountain, 7%, 11,000 feet, are done during a snowstorm. And yep, it hasn't quit. I would love it if the manufacturers would start giving us trucks in the spring instead of in the fall, but you know, they want to try to get that next year out, and so that's what they do. But I've got tow haul mode on. I'm towing 7,500 pounds, my tilt trailer and this Jeep. So let's see if I can get home in one piece. It just never quits in the middle of the winter. So anyway, I stopped whining, but it's, you know, it's a dangerous time of the year to be pulling trailers, and this is what we do. But we decided it was too dangerous to tow trailers up to Estes today. Way too cold. We don't want to risk anybody, and I, you know, can't afford to lose a new truck and a trailer and a Jeep. That's my ballast, is that 1987 Wrangler. I mean, it's worth a lot, but it is to me, and I keep rebuilding it and fixing it up. I don't want to lose my investment either, or get anybody hurt. And, you know, so whenever I'd come up to a stop sign or stoplight, I wasn't hitting my foot brake, I was grabbing the trailer brake. And sometimes the trailer wheels would lock up, but it would still stop me straight. Now the truck would just keep sliding because it would have the trailer and the truck locked up. So today I'm getting by just using that trailer brake down here, and Titan does a really good job of where they put it. It's right by my right hand. It's easy to see. I can grab that in any kind of emergency, because when you start swaying or doing all that crazy stuff with the trailer, you want to be able to grab the trailer brake separately to control it, to straighten it out. So anyway, got this Endurance V8 3.6, 400 horsepower, 410 torque, or 413 torque, and it goes. 9-speed automatic, balances out really well. I've got tow haul mode, and I'm nowhere near the maximum capacity of this truck. It just happens to be when I had loaded and ready to go. So yeah, and you know, Titan, I was at their first launch, and I cannot remember if it was 2003, 2004. When it first came out, I think we're in California or Arizona. It was there in Arizona, but it was a long time ago, and it was very impressive. It was one of the first trucks to have a sprayed-in factory bed liner. One of the first trucks to have really great cargo management. It's got the rails in the floor and in the sidewall, so you can tie things down, which was very important to me, not to have stuff flying out the back of your truck in the traffic. Very important. Titan was ahead of the world there. They also the first ones that I remember having electronic stability control. You know, trucks, empty trucks, they fishtail a lot because, you know, their weight bounces off until they're loaded, and they're very handleable then. But empties, when you need the help, that's when that back end likes to fishtail. So they had electronic stability control, which would use your ABS brakes to bring it back in straight line, and it was wonderful. So Titan was way ahead of its time. I know their sales haven't gotten crazy good, but you know, that's one thing they did too, and they've changed it recently, the last 5 years, where they actually try to sell, you know, fleet trucks, all the low end as well as the high end. When they first started out, all they would sell was either a crew or a king cab with an automatic and a V8, and that was about as low as you can go. So they didn't get really fleet business. And I respected them too, as they had a what you call a truck manager for each Nissan store, and he was the one who had the education and knew about what you should do with trailering, which truck would fit you, and that was a very good idea. I don't know of any other OEM manufacturer that did that, but Nissan did, and so I give them kudos for a lot of their first things that they come out with. And you know, that was quite the truck. I wish that I could have kept the Cummins. I really liked that. I was going to buy one. Found one with hail damage. I could have got a reasonable, but it just didn't work out. But it was sad to see the Cummins go on their XD. I think they could have took the XD and made it a heavy duty and done well, but they didn't ask me. So they were so close to having a heavy duty truck, and then they would have only been the 4th manufacturer in that category. Now they're in the category where there's at least 5 of them. So I don't know, but yeah, I get a kick out of this truck. And now I'm coming up to a stop, so I'm gonna grab my trailer brake and slow this puppy down safely, because you always want to straighten that snake out. You do not want it going sideways. This is a real nice interior. This is the Pro 4X. It's got all this red stitching in here, decals, skid plates, Bilstein shocks, all the cool stuff for off-roading. And I remember, I don't know, the first launch or the second launch, I did quite a bit of off-roading with this Pro 4X, and I was impressed with how well it did out climbing the rocks and the ditches and all that stuff we did. But anyway, the trailer's fine. I mean, I didn't measure the squat on it because I was in the middle of a snowstorm. It's got so much snow and slush on this trailer that it grabbed my wires out of my fender lights on the backside, just dropped them down and put a big ball of ice and snow on them. So I had to break that loose. I'll have to wire all that when I get back to the world headquarters of MrTruck.com. But the tow haul mode on this is still in the shifter stem, which I like. That's where they all used to be. Now they're moving them all over the place. I have to look for them in a lot of trucks. This, I know exactly where it is, and it's got the manual shifting. But this 9-speed performs well. As much as I like more gears, the 10 speeds had me tickled. A lot of times these 6, 8, and 9 speeds, well, actually the 8 and the 9 speeds have been pretty impressive how they can keep the engine in that torque and horsepower range, the power range, where they cross over, and that's good. I mean, you know, I'm still a fan of 10 speeds, but this is a 9 speed, and I doubt if you can see much difference in the way these things shift or hunt gears between this 9-speed and a 10-speed that everybody else has. But no, it's got a good layout. I mean, this is a pretty loaded one. It's got power tilt and telescope, and these are good mirrors. They do have a towing mirror, which is really good, but these actually stick out quite a bit. They both sides have spotter mirror, which is a big help, and it's a pretty big glass. And of course, I'm pulling this tilt trailer that's, you know, kind of flat deck, so I have a little bit of visibility over the fender on this trailer. It's one of the reasons I like to tow it so much. Then it's got new brakes on it, new bearings, all that stuff, because, you know, it's 5 years old, a lot of miles on it. So I decided I better stop with squeaky brakes and get them fixed. Took them to Jayhawk, and I'll be showing that video here fairly soon. But yeah, this is a good looking truck. It's a solid truck, and you know, the XD, I haven't driven one of those in a long time, but you know, because they're one size up or half a size up, they're very stable. It's a heavier truck, heavier frame. And for towing trailers, having a heavier truck is a good thing. I've noticed that with the Ford Hybrid. It's quite a bit heavier than a regular half-ton, and you can tell it with the trailer. That's a good thing. It handles really well. So, anyway, I'll be telling you a little more about all the details of this truck in a little bit here, since they don't have a driver with me like Kelsey. I can't tell you what I'm driving. So that's about all I'm going to tell you for now. Then I'll go over all the specs after a bit. These side doors too, they also did like Ford did. They dropped the glass down in the door so you can see the mirror better, which I think is a good thing. But yeah, see, it's got the tow hooks. It's got the off-road tires. Well, I shouldn't say off-road. They're all-terrain tires, which has a good grip to them. They clean out well. And I haven't had that much of a problem on this ice and snow with them. So, I think I seatbelts for 5. It's a crew cab, which means I have a 5.5-foot bed. But stay tuned for more. Oh yeah, you got to talk about the Fender speakers in this. I think the drivers. Let's see. My son loves Fender speakers. You know, Fender guitars. Fender is all about acoustics, and these are really got some good value to it. That 9-inch screen is a really good size to have for checking all your center stack out. And then, you know, you got a good gauge display. Right now with the trailer, I'm getting 11.7. I was, you know, up over close to 20, because that's what the EPA is on these. Is, let's see, it's 20 on the highway, 12 in the city, it's 17 combined. Anytime you can get 20 on the highway, I think that's a good number. There are some higher, there's some lower. But supposed to use premium fuel. That's the thing about the fuel on these things. All the top-end engines, whether it's the Ford EcoBoost, the General Motors 6.2, or this 5.6, to get the best horsepower and the best fuel mileage, you got to use premium. And so that's where that goes. Until, you know, what's happened recently with that Ford hybrid, has had the most torque in the class at 413. But it's a very competitive market, so somebody's always about jumping ahead of you. Now this one, geez, I don't know if I can read this or not. 61,000 something. Had cataract surgery, so I have to wear like 3 pairs of glasses until my eyes have totally healed up and I can get one that adjusts like that. But, so I use my reading glasses. I use sometimes my old glasses, which is really weird. And I had glasses made so I can see distance down the road, which is what I'm wearing right now. So I want to be safe on the highway. That's what it is when you're in the trailering world. You always got to think safety and think what's going on ahead of you, which is what they teach you in like your CDL class for your CDL test, which Andre just, I think, got something going on there for him. But this rascal handles well, and I, you know, always knowing what's way ahead of you is what truckers do. I mean, I've noticed that about the folks who drive in California. So used to so many accidents and traffic, they're always looking way down the line. I've noticed that driving with journalists who are from California. They're good drivers, and they're, you know, sometimes crazy drivers, but I'm always trying to remember that, to keep an eye on what's going on way ahead of you, so you have plenty of time to stop. And I always like to stay in the right lane when I can. If somebody does cut me off, because it happens a lot, people don't understand that trailers and trucks don't stop on a dime. But they will pull right in front of you, and something stupid happens, and they stop. You got to be able to head down the outside of the road, and sometimes the ditch, to save yourself. But anyway, it's something to think about, and that's what we're towed in on trailers. Of course, that means we have to have trucks, we have to have accessories and trailers. So we try to review all those. And right now, of course, we got Gen Y hitch on here. That's what we always have. Adjustable hitch. This one's weight distributing, because I don't know, this truck I've got to look up, but I'm almost thinking I probably wouldn't have to have weight distributing, but I think it's a good thing to control the sway of the trailer too, if you have one that has good sway control. That's usually done by friction on the spring arms or some other way. There's usually friction involved. But so don't go away. I'm going to be giving you more details in just a minute. Everybody would give me a stocking cap. So I'll finish telling you what else is on this puppy. I love the Pro 4X. It's got the automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection. And that's kind of awkward. There's a place to shut it off. If you try to back up with the trailer on, it thinks there's something you're backing into. 9-speed automatic, shift on the fly, 4-wheel drive, the 2-speed transfer case, the high and the low. Bilstein's off-road mono tube shocks. And it's got the hill start assist, hill descent control, electronic locking rear differential. I love when there's a button, 18-inch wheels, These are all-terrain tires. They're a 275 P275. That's passenger tire. 70 R18. They do that to give you a little better ride. I'm a big fan of the LT tires, but Nissan decided to go with that. Haptic steering, high beam assist, traffic light recognition. That is so cool when I can see it. And blind spot warning, all the normal stuff. Collision warning. It's got all the tethers. That big 9-inch screen in the center stack, and your dash or behind your steering wheel is a 7-inch screen. It's all the new toys. Bluetooth, all the Apple Play, all that stuff. Front leather captain's chairs. You got heat storage in the back. You can fold out a tray. But auto dimming rearview mirror, of course, all that normal stuff. Intelligent driver alerts, intelligent cruise control. I love intelligent cruise control. And it's got the best warranty out there. 5 years, 100,000 miles. But you do have to use premium fuel, just like you do on the 6.2 General Motors and the 3.5 EcoBoost, all the EcoBoosts from Ford. Now this has got all, of course, the Pro 4X packages. It's got several of them. One is the utility package. It costs you $2,190. It's got a 12-volt outlet in the bed. I wish my truck had that. Utilitrack. Now these are the first ones to have it. Back when these first came out, probably 2004. It's got a power sliding rear window, electric locking tailgate, power slide rear window. That's about average for the half tons. Yes, indeed. And this one here doesn't show anything rated. The other Pro 4X moonroof package is $1,490. That gives you the panoramic moonroof. And the slide, all this fancy stuff just for the moonroof. Pro 4X rugged step boards, that's $1,050. Illuminated kick plates, $350. The sport bar, you see in the back, is $900. It's a 9-speed automatic. Maximum payload they're showing here is well, the door sticker on this doesn't show 16.8, it shows 1260 for payload, and a maximum towing is supposed to be around 9,310. Which if you go to the XD, which this is the normal Titan, then you can jump up to 11,040 for a gooseneck. You got trailer light check. They're the first ones to have that I know of, and the first ones, they weren't the first ones to integrate a brake controller. But it's moving object detection. It does tell you when something's going on out there. It's got that 360 type camera. It's the popular thing. But yes, indeed, well equipped, because there's another option above this. It's got the heated steering wheel. It's got all that stuff. It's a very comfortable truck. The panoramic moonroof is fantastic in the mountains. And it's got seats for 5.